So welcome to Heath Low Level. No trains today. There's engineering works on the line. You might notice there's a lot of wires appeared since I filmed here, because a couple of years ago I came here to introduce a video about the railway stations that came to the centre of Cardiff and then went on down into the docks. And it's fair to say I made a few mistakes. And so my plan today is take two. I'm going to effectively retell the story of the main lines and of these main stations. I've got some photographs which have come to light since I last did it as well, so hopefully will enhance what I did last time. So here we go. The central stations and dock stations of Cardiff, take two. Enjoy.
So there were three railway companies who had stations in Cardiff. The first railway, ironically, to arrive in Cardiff was not the Great Western, but the Taff Vale. Now they had a line down into the docks from the valleys and opened a station at Queen Street in 1840. This image, which came from the National Museum of Wales, shows a Taff Vale Railway train in a station that says Cardiff. Now, I've seen a couple of different captions for this, but it's probably taken at the original station, which was known as Cardiff, Taff Vale. This was just outside of that station, just before demolition, when a new station was built in 1887. On this map from 1877, you can see clearly the Taff Vale Railway station and the small building above. This was the Taff Vale Railway headquarters. Later maps show the station in a lot more detail. However, this map that's available only shows the top of the station of the goods shed, the booking office, and the offices. Unfortunately, the second part of the map is missing. But we do know it was a substantial station with restaurants, waiting rooms, and as you can see from this image, a taxi rank outside. As the years went on, it deteriorated. This shot in 1974 shows the oversheds not in the best of conditions, and it was around about this time it was rebuilt. This fine Victorian station was pulled down and replaced with a modern entrance. Today it consists of 4 through platforms and a bay platform. Platform 5 was reopened when the station was developed further in 2014. And of course there's more to come when metro services start operating towards the end of 2025. The staple of this station soon are going to be Stadler Flirts and Stadler Trams. The Taff Vale Railway Station in Cardiff Bay opened in 1844. It was originally called Cardiff Butte Docks. A year later it was changed to Cardiff Docks and became Butte Street in and around 1924. In 1994 it was renamed again Cardiff Bay. This building was once the headquarters of the Taff Vale Railway before they relocated up to Cardiff Queen Street. Over the years, this building's had many uses. At one time, the National Museum of Wales used it as an exhibition, but over time, it came quite run down. This aerial shot shows the dock area, and there is Butte Street Station, showing just how close it was to the actual dock itself. A lot of the buildings shown in this photograph are still in existence, though obviously used for different purposes. And this map shows what it would have looked like, the dock station being just part of a much wider set of lines, which were mainly designed for freight. The original platforms were closed and the line rerouted into its current form in 1994. The canopy over the original platforms deteriorated and it all became quite overgrown. A preservation group did use this stretch of a line to house locomotives and run short trips up and down the line, but they relocated to the Preserve Railway at Barry. Today, however, the buildings are used for enterprise offices, and a single platform is used for services up to Queen Street and then beyond up to Pontypridd. However, significant development is taking place at the station, bringing back the second platform, extending it significantly, and making provision for an exit into Cardiff Bay with a view to linking this branch with stations in the east of the city. This will be done making use of the Class 398 tram trains, which will be operating this line from next year. In 1850, another railway came to Cardiff, the South Wales Railway. It was built by Brunel and was funded by the Great Western Railway, and in fact was fully absorbed by them in 1863. Cardiff Central was opened as just Cardiff in 1850 and is the city's main station, with trains running to many destinations passing through it. When Brunel built the station, the River Taff was diverted to accommodate it, and the vacant land can be seen on this map with a simple station. It was expanded in 1896, and in 1924 it was renamed Cardiff General. In the 1930s it went through a major rebuild and has been expanded many times, and has seen many changes include electrification and the addition of extra platforms. In 1973 it was renamed Cardiff Central. Today it's located next to the brand new Transport for Wales bus interchange, but it retains its Great Western fascia and charm.
By the way, I should point out it's Children in Need Day. We don't normally have a giant Pudsey living in Cardiff.
It was recently restored to 1930s Art Deco style roof and lighting. One thing, however, the original station didn't have was a Platform Zero, one of the few stations in the UK to have one. Incidentally, the link between the Taff Vale and the Great Western lines, which is now a core part of the Valley lines and the Transport for Wales Metro, wasn't actually opened until 1854. It linked the broad gauge GWR with the standard gauge Taff Vale Railway. So it was a mixed gauge line, and what was ironic was Brunel was actually the engineer on both lines. The Great Western Railway had two other stations in Cardiff. Cardiff Riverside was opened in 1893 at the top of a branch that went down into docks. Services to Penarth, St Fagans and out to Barry ran through this branch and came up through Riverside before heading out to their destinations. It was separate from Cardiff Central, but was incorporated into the main station in 1940, becoming platforms 8 and 9. In its latter years it was used as a goods station with a Red Star parcel service underneath. It closed for passengers in 1964 and was finally demolished in 1994. Today there's no evidence of the station here at all. This is the rear of Cardiff Station, and you can see nothing of Riverside Station left. In fact, the area where it was is now a new through platform and the rear entrance to the station. There are plans, however, that the metro lines from Cardiff Bay may one day join here, climbing up this ramp to do so. At the bottom of the branch that came off through Riverside Station was Clarence Road Station. It was built at the bottom of what is now Dumballs Road, opened in 1893. The idea was it would link with trams and be able to serve the docks. This image shows the branch with Riverside South signal box taken about 1959, and this is the photograph of the station itself. It was a single platform with a passing loop, initially served by steam haul trains and latterly served by DMUs. On this aerial image you can see the station in the bottom middle. To the left is the River Taff and to the right the Glamorganshire Canal. The area was actually nicknamed Rat Island, and there's still some evidence of rails in the industrial units to the left of the line, but apart from that absolutely nothing left. It's all gone, including the canal. And the site of the station today has been turned into flats. When the Rhymney Railway first ran services to Cardiff in 1858, they made use of the Taff Vale Railway tracks down the big hill, which I featured in a previous video, through Taff's Well. Now these terminated at a station called Adam Street, which is located right in the centre of Cardiff, not far from the current Queen Street station and adjacent to the prison. Now it latterly became a goods station as shown on this map, and today there's nothing left to show this was ever a railway here. In fact, the site of the goods shed and the station is now where this multi-storey car park is. This timetable shows the services that operated, and it should be noted that Taff's Well was called Walnut Tree and Ustrad Monarch just called Ustrad. When the Rhymney opened their new line to Cardiff from Caerphilly through Kevennon Tunnel, they also opened a new terminal station. So in 1871 Adam Street closed and Crockherbtown station opened. Now this was just north of the current Queen Street station and was named after the part of Cardiff it was located in, and consisted of two through platforms. The lines actually continued down into the docks, and there are few images of the station, but I've been able to get hold of this one, and it shows it was a simple station with two long platforms. In this photo looking down Queen Street, you can see the two lines with the Rhymney in the foreground and the Taff Vale in the background. Crockherbtown station would have been located to the right of this photo. And in this aerial view, the station buildings are still intact. However, the platforms have gone because the two were amalgamated into Queen Street Station. It was actually renamed Parade in 1924 after the road it was located in, and was closed in 1928. There's no remnants left today at Crockherbtown Station. This sprinter is roughly passing the site of it as it goes over the bridge north of Queen Street. The sidings in the area remained open for some time, and this is a photograph from the 60s showing again the branch to the left heading down to the docks, with the railways to the right heading into Queen Street. Crockherbtown itself was an area of Cardiff which was completely demolished, and there's very little reminder even that existed. There is this one small lane, however, near Queen Street, which is named after the area. If it looks familiar, well, it has been a filming location for Doctor Who Torchwood, as well as Gavin and Stacey. The Rhymney lines continued into the docks, and there is a terminus station shown on the maps. Now, this was alongside the depot and workshops, and it's thought that perhaps services would have been operated down here for workmen. Not a lot is known about the station, but it is known that trains were running there in 1928. Looking at the side-by-side maps from the National Library of Scotland service, it's marked as Terminus Station, and today it's in the middle of a very large roundabout which leads out the top of Butetown tunnels. And so today we have Cardiff Central, Cardiff Queen Street and Cardiff Bay. But it's all change, and the next few years the South Wales Metro will be finished, and tram trains installed to run on lines through Pontypridd down to Cardiff Central and into Cardiff Bay. And there's a new station being constructed on the way down. It's round about where Loudon Square is, and it's going to be called Butetown. Cardiff Bay, as I say, has been expanded to take 6-car tram trains, and eventually even those will run out the back of the station and out to the east of Cardiff. There is no doubt it is all change.
And so that's it, the docks and central stations of Cardiff. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, ding, and until next time.